Trekcast.
The galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast.
And we're live.
Hey. Caught me looking around.
I did a countdown.
I know, but I suddenly realized that we have one voicemail, so I'm going to have to find my cord to be able to see. We hadn't had one.
Fantastic.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, and I forgot to go to costuming before the
Did
show.
you not go to wardrobe? Costume and
I
wardrobe?
didn't go to wardrobe. Thank you. I
Yes.
forgot to stop by wardrobe.
I can do
Yeah,
the same
it
thing.
happens.
I can do the same thing.
At least you made it to makeup.
So, yeah, exactly. So, how do I look today? I'm doing something a little different.
It looks a little different. You look great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Bright
look great.
colors.
So
The car seat. It's all like
the angle is a little different.
yeah.
I think I'm probably a little more high res.
Yep.
Space Force issued me a new iPad this week.
Oh.
Yeah, and you know, this morning I was like, hey, you know, I got that brand new iPad with a full data plan. Command yellow, yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
command yellow.
So you've got an iPad up on your steering wheel?
I've got an iPad up on the dash,
Nice.
but here's the thing: I'm not looking at a screen this big. I'm looking at a screen this big.
Yeah.
So, you know, the stuff, the comments come across the screen, and dash cam view exactly.
Yes.
See, I didn't have to move to read that.
Yeah.
You know,
Nice.
Last week I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny, yeah,
Like an old man, you know, go up on the one side of the bifocals, other side of the bifocals.
That's
Yes.
right, Pavel. You're not looking up my nose.
That's right.
Sorry to
Well,
disappoint.
and that works out because today I've got all sorts of clips from the Will Wheaton show.
The
Oh,
Will
yes.
Wheaton-
I forgot that's a
Will
thing.
Wheaton show.
That's right. I
Will
suffer for the
Wheaton.
people.
Yes, you
So.
do. I forget. Yeah, me too, Chad. I forget that that's a show.
I've seen the YouTube numbers. You're not the only one.
Who
that's
watches
okay.
it? It's only on YouTube, isn't it?
No, it's also on the Paramount.
On Paramount?
It's on Paramount. Yeah.
It's really hard to find on Paramount.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah.
So you know what's different about what's this? What is this thing we're using? StreamYard? Is that what it's
StreamYard.
called? Okay. One thing I noticed that's different is I am looking at a true image of myself. I'm not looking at a mirror image of myself. That was something I could never switch on the other one.
Yeah.
So you see me adjusting my shirt, and I'm all the way over here because I'm meaning to do this,
Yeah.
but it's not a mirror. Yeah. So,
You can mirror it. You have that ability in the app.
no, this is good. I'll get used to it.
Okay.
I'll get used to it.
Yeah, I mean, it works
I was
fine
just
on
trying
mine.
to straighten the command yellow as he said. It's actually not command yellow. I'm the curator of the Fleet Museum, so this is my.
And Gentry says you figured out the Hellbird code, so that's good. Oh man, yeah, we're gonna have a lot to talk about with that show.
Yes.
I actually saw it twice. First time in a while. I've seen an
Me
episode
too.
twice. Yeah.
Me too. I watched it like 2.5 times.
But you know what I saw more than twice was Chad's quick reaction. The quick reactions we put out. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk. We will definitely talk. So that was just something I thought we could do, just to get out the reviews quick, and people seem to like it, and they got a lot of downloads and a lot of views. I was pretty surprised by that.
Good.
So
Good.
yeah. But
I think people tend to watch shorter videos. They're Commodore Lombardo. I'll take it. I'll take it.
You and Lionel Richie, both Commodores.
Fun fact,
Mhm.
I cannot dance on the ceiling. So
Yeah.
just put that right here
But-
for when you need it.
Hello, is it me you're waiting for?
It's always me that you're looking for.
Chad's just laughing with his sunglasses,
Yeah.
drinking his coffee. He's
Yep.
about to plot the world destruction straight there.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I don't know who Lionel Richie is or any of his music.
What?
You don't know who
I
Lionel
know who
Richie
he
is.
is. I know who he is.
Okay.
I just don't know his music.
Jeez.
I was about to send you a Picard
Kidding.
mixtape of Lionel.
I'm kidding. Not really.
Oh man.
His daughter,
The shame.
Christina Ricci, she played Wednesday Addams in the 1990s Addams movies. So there.
Indeed.
Now that's something you know.
Gentry has cracked the case. Is Chad hungover?
You
I
can't
don't
be hung over when you've never stopped.
You've just been celebrating that Super Bowl win.
It was a hell.
That's right. That's right. The big football, American football
This is when
conference
Well,
like he's
thing.
yeah, the football.
Football.
It was great.
Football.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. There were a lot of good previews for movies, and the chicken fingers were just right.
Good.
And there was a buffalo chicken dip that was nice. I think it has some cream cheese in it. I think that's the secret ingredient. And I think they played some sports ball too. So
they did play some sports ball, some damn good sports ball.
Right in between the Rihanna concert.
He paid those
weird.
refs off. Chaz Biz says, this is catching some traction lately. That the NFL is scripted like WWE.
Yes.
Have you seen all this?
Yeah, because there was a thing going around Twitter, the
Oh,
script.
God.
And then a couple days ago, somebody said the script for next year's Super Bowl is already leaked. Because, of course. It's great.
There's no script. It's not scripted.
I will say the funny thing about the script that was leaked, it had a 3-point victory for the Eagles, and then the Chiefs only won by 3 points. So they just flipped the script.
I was going to say they literally flipped the script.
The script,
Yep.
Yep.
Just Chad doesn't deny it. He just quietly laughs and moves on.
I'm just laughing.
Nothing to see here.
While we're on this tangent,
yes,
just so we don't have to come back to this tangent.
Indeed.
The trailer for the Flash movie. What'd you think?
Oh my gosh!
I am so happy that Keaton is back. I didn't realize how happy I would be about that.
I didn't know he was back. I was totally clueless on that. I'd forgotten everything.
We've talked about it on this show.
I know, but I'd forgotten anything and everything we talked about
doesn't.
with the Flash because that guy is kind of. I kind of figured they would trash the movie, honestly, because of that guy.
No.
But
they spent
but
too
they
much
didn't.
money.
Yeah, I get that. They spent so much money. In fact, they had to use him twice. So
you got 2 checks.
Yeah, so
Maybe
I was
3.
really surprised when I watched that trailer, and I was also kind of like, do I really that looks like a mess? Do I really care? Like most of the Marvel movies nowadays, when you see a trailer for it, it just looks like a total mess because it's like they can't have just one thing going on. There has to be 17 things going on all at once. And maybe I'm old. I don't know. It's like really hard to figure out what the hell they're even talking about or why I should care.
Yeah.
Trailers nowadays are like the entire movie in 2.5 minutes anyway. I wish they would just get away from that.
Well, they're basing it off one of the most popular comics for Flash.
Oh, I know all about the DC version of the multiverse and all that stuff, right? And the Flashpoint and the reset and all those things. I know about it. Yeah, you're right. I'm just old. Thank you. But
well,
but it's just I don't know. It just feels maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be good. I kind of did and kind of didn't enjoy the latest. Spider-Man movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it was okay, but it was just kind of with all the old Spider-Mans in it. That part was okay, but it was also kind of like, did you have to reset everything? Do we always just constantly have to loop back to the same things and just reset it all over again? Can't we just move forward, and do something unique?
Well, I mean, they've always done resets,
right?
You had Keaton's Batman, then you had Bale's Batman. Then you had
thanks, Gentry.
What's his name? Batman versus Superman.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. Now you have Pattinson. There's going to be a new guy. I think what's different is there's always been resets. They're making the reset part of the story,
right? At
this point,
right.
And I think that's kind of new.
What I think is funny. So they got 4 movies in the can right now, right? They've got Aquaman, they got Shazam, they got Flash, and they got Blue Beetle. Only one of those has James Gunn come out and said, "Oh, this is the best superhero movie I've seen, or one of the best," and it's The Flash. That could be legitimately he really likes it, which I have heard it is really good. Or it just could be like, this one is the one that needs the most help to sell because of the stars, so we're gonna say it's really good.
Or it could be this is the one that we're keeping elements from going forward. And the
he did say that.
He
did say that. So
it's like I can tell you guys both loved Picard so much. We're just rushing towards that topic.
We'll get there. We still got news.
Well, let me just give you my 2 reactions.
Yeah,
two reactions to the Flash trailer, and I had completely written off Ezra Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know, I had completely written off this entire Snyder era of DCU. But after seeing that trailer, never have I been more excited to watch a criminal's next project. Let's put that.
There you go.
Let's say it that way. And I also just want to remind everyone that back in the mid 1990s, Robert Downey Jr. was a complete piece of human trash.
Oh yeah,
a complete worthless human being. and now it's like he is the MCU. The MCU is built around him. Yeah. And you know, there's people who are like, there will never ever be another Iron Man, and if they cast anyone else, I will never watch, and blah 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 blah. So I just leave it with that.
There's a big difference though between those two scenarios. You know what the big difference is? Like the huge difference? Not despite the fact that Ezra, whatever his name is no Robert Downey Jr. in terms of his acting ability.
Well,
but
the
also,
allegations are way worse.
The big thing that's missing there is time. There was a lot of time between when Downey was Downey.
Oh, I know.
And Downey was Robert Downey Jr., the Iron Man.
Right.
This is all happening within a couple of years, like a year. In the middle of it, right? So it's that's a lot harder sell. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to the news because we've been going for a little while already.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Star Trek news.
All right. So our first news story. Let me bring it up here because now I can do that.
Yes. I mean, we did miss the fact that now Michael Keaton is both a villain and a hero.
Right. Yes. So our first news story comes to us from the AV Club, and unfortunately, Pride, who was the composer of the famous Star Trek fight music, the that one, from amok time, he has passed away. Looks like he died of pneumonia for Variety. He's 93 years old. He came out in the past couple days. Yeah, big legend, and he is gone. And
I'm having a hard
Daniel's,
time hearing you.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing Daniel.
Hello, is this better?
That's way better.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay, weird. All right.
Maybe when you're switching to the other stuff, something's happening with your audio.
Maybe. But let me try.
All of a sudden, you snapped right back into.
Okay, let me try one other one.
Okay.
Just to see what happens. And our next news story comes to us from IndieWire. How's this? Is my audio still?
Yeah, I think it's okay.
So far.
All right, so maybe there was just something on that website that was making it sound weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, from IndieWire, there are plans to fix Paramount Plus. So recently, Paramount Plus had their big investors call. Overall, they have significantly increased subscriber base. They are now at over 70 million subscribers, paying subscribers, which is huge.
That is huge.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, their cost of doing business has gone up like increasingly. So it went up 93%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they are paying quite a bit. They do foresee that this will continue in 2023, and then they're going to look for ways to cut back costs and kind of stream it down. What's interesting
there? Stream it down.
That's right.
Sorry.
What's interesting though is so there's a lot of articles out there. There's in Variety, there's the Hollywood Reporter. This one is on IndieWire. They all talk about how great overall Paramount is doing, how it's looking to kind of blend its Paramount Plus with Showtime to kind of trim down some of the costs and everything. But what's interesting is they talk about all these popular franchises they have and how great it's going, but they don't mention Star Trek, which is kind of interesting.
In that entire article, really?
Yeah. They just mentioned that they want to keep building their franchises and growing more out. I know that they're planning to do that with the Ninja Turtles, but
yeah, that'll get so many subscribers.
They want to do an adult show, and that's going to get a lot of the man children. So at least that's the rumor.
Well.
Old man yells at cloud, Chad. I get it.
Something's got to give, because there's all kinds of articles about all these streaming services being in bad shape right now.
Yeah,
they all are. They're all trying to. They're all trying to.
They all are
because.
Because here's the thing. The hell is that?
That would be Daniel when he picked up his drink.
Yeah, when I picked up my drink, I'm gonna move it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'm like, we got sound effects. What are we
yes.
Mm-hmm. But there was a time not too long ago where Netflix had a 98% market share of streaming, and they were telling the world, share your passwords, share it with the world. We don't care. Because they wanted 100%. They wanted to just bring as many people into the fold as possible. And here we are 10 years later, and they're like, we're going to shut your stuff down if you're sharing your password. So they've been gradually losing market share, and everybody's got it. We've talked about it before. Everybody's got a service now. And I think people are getting fed up where they're like, I'm not gonna subscribe to 10 streaming services. I'm going to pick 2 a month and bounce around a little bit.
Well, what's interesting to what you're saying is, so in the Paramount investor call, they talked about how they also own Pluto TV, and that has grown leaps and bounds because it's completely free and ad supported.
It's free.
Yeah. Also, one of the most active streaming platforms right now, just across the board, is Tubi. Tubi is also free and ad supported. Yes.
Yep.
So that might be the future. We're going to go,
but that's
TV over the internet.
That's full circle.
Yeah,
that's full circle. Used to be you set up your rabbit ears on top of your TV.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was free, but you had to sit through the aspirin commercial halfway through Lawrence Welk, or Lawrence Welk was brought to you by Tylenol, or whatever. So I think you're right. I think we're coming around. I think we're coming full circle.
Well, now that streaming is ubiquitous and pretty much anybody can stream from anywhere on their phones, and phones are so ubiquitous, everybody's got a smartphone, if not two, and so it's if not more than that in their own household, and a lot of people are very comfortable now watching the majority of their shows on an iPad or a tablet of some kind, let alone a television. I mean, how many times do I sit and watch something on my TV in my front living room? The big ass TV that has the great surround system. Yeah, rabbit ears, exactly. I never even had rabbit ears. I don't know what Dan's talking about.
Shut up! You know what rabbit ears are.
I do. Mm-hmm. But yeah, exactly.
That's not the millennials, Gentry. That would be the Gen Z.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it's kind of a thing where at this point, I mean, yeah, it's all streaming. It's all streaming all the time. There's no, even when I am occasionally watching something on the television, I'm streaming it, of course. The only local anything I ever watch is football.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's it. That's the only reason I have the HD TV antenna thing Velcroed to the wall behind the television. You can't even see it, but it's there, so I can pick up an HD quality, the local 459 or 41 whenever the Chiefs are playing. That's it. So
I had recently had to explain the concept of broadcast television to my son.
Oh wow.
It was on at 8:00, and if you got there at 8:15, you missed the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You might catch it in a rerun over the summer, and if you didn't, it was just gone forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tin foil on the tips, exactly. You need tin foil if you want the good reception.
Yep.
All right, so let me get to the last news story, and it comes to us from Game Rant, and a Minecraft player, which I know Chad is a big Minecraft player, has created famous Star Trek ships in the game. And
Mhm.
so I can actually show you pictures of this because now we can do that. So this is what they've created.
That's
I
all
don't.
out of Minecraft
Oh my
blocks. Yep.
god!
Yep.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
Wow.
So it
Looks
looks
even
very
better than the
impressive.
Titan from this season of Picard.
Oh,
Yeah.
stop!
It's the Kobayashi Maru and
Look
the
at
USS
that.
Eclipse.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, they look pretty great. They look really great.
great.
Yeah. So yes, if you guys are watching the live stream, you will see this. For the audio listeners, I'm sorry, they all look like Lego sets and they're pretty great.
Yeah.
So
It looked like the world's most expensive Lego set.
oh my god, it would
Yeah.
be so much money.
Yep.
Yes. But yeah, so that is the news.
Nice.
Well, should we get to the main topic?
We should probably get to
Sure.
the main topic. 21 minutes.
Fun will now commence.
I love it.
Shut up. Sorry.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What
All
I
right.
missed? What?
Main topic is Picard, season 3, episode 1, The Next Generation. And of course, you guys saw, or most of you saw, our quick reaction to watching it this week as Dan and Daniel did their homework and got it in on time, and I did not. So I came in late.
Well,
But
I
it's
wanted to
okay.
show this too. Not just our quick reactions, but here's
Yeah.
the reactions on Rotten Tomatoes. So the tomato meter, the critic score is 100%. That's out of 25 critic reviews. Whereas the audience score is at 88%. So both very, very high.
Yeah, I see that.
So
I'm
Yeah, the
holding on to my
difference is-
moniker of Chad is wrong. So
The difference is the critics have seen the first 6 episodes.
yeah.
Right.
People at home have seen the first 1 episode.
Mhm.
So no
Yeah.
fun on Captain Shaw's ship.
Yeah.
he's our new
Cap-
Jellicoe.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, do we want to get right into Shaw right away?
Well, let's recap what happened.
All right, go ahead. Recap what happened.
So, Chad, do you want to take this? You usually do the recaps.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean,
You sure you want him to do it?
Sure.
so, of course,
He's
we're
gonna
back.
be like, Picard walks in, some shit happens, I didn't like it, and now
Right,
I'm on the
right.
show.
I'll add in that they say the same thing to one another 4 times in every scene. So that gets a little irritating. But no, I mean, Picard is clearly boxing up stuff to leave the chateau. He's going somewhere with Laris, and then decides not to when he gets a distress call from Beverly Crusher, who they've not seen for 20 years, which is at the first point, I think, bullshit. Like no one's talked to Beverly Crusher for 20 years. Anyway, and Beverly is apparently doing something clandestine out in a nebula where the only place that she can hide is in the exact same nebula. 20, just let's move over a little to the left or a middle to the right so they can't find us again the next time. That's also weird. The opening scene is just a little off to me, but we'll get into the reason why. Overall, there's a lot of action. There's everybody kind of coming back together again. We see 7 of 9 not being herself. We see Riker not being himself. He's obviously estranged now from Imzadi. They're going through a divorce because we can't have anything happy for that couple at all. And and they decide to try to go and hijack Shaw's ship, the Titan, to take it out to find Beverly. And Shaw just says no, take a fucking hike. And of course, Raffi. Man, I really thought there for a minute we were going to see Raffi's true colors of her being an addict and a junkie. It turns out, no, she's clandestine affairs and she's a spy. But she
She's
gets
just a
over emotional
terrible
and yells
actress.
at everybody. She's just terrible. She's just terrible. And of course, she's so bad that she's late to get to the Ghost Candle Factory. She's just late. She's just bad. She's a horrible spy. She can't figure anything out in time. And she gets there and watches the destruction of something with some special lady, some building that gets picked up and dropped somewhere else, Thanatos style. So
Doctor Strange style.
Doctor
He
Strange
opened up
style.
a
I mean,
portal.
yes, definitely a portal from Doctor Strange. And and of course, all she's doing is screaming at people. I mean, she's not a Starfleet officer. She's a weirdo. And this outfit of Beverly Crusher's, does that not look like a blue version of the Monster Maroon from the Wrath of Khan?
No, what it actually is, it's the Wrath of Khan away team jacket.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
This whole episode evokes the Wrath of Khan.
What
From
is
the
with
very-
that freaking rifle?
From the very first scene where the caption says "in the 25th century."
Yes.
Okay, because the Wrath of Khan started,
Yep.
in the 23rd century.
Yeah.
So, I think I think they're giving us a clue as to what's coming, and I don't know if I should say it. I don't know if I should say it now or
I'll go for it
until we get into it.
No, let's go.
All right, so Beverly's hiding from somebody. She's cut ties to everyone for 20 years. Everyone listening to our show has obviously watched the show, so we're gonna go out of order.
Yep.
And stuff. Okay, so she sends a distress call to Picard. Says no Starfleet. I need your help, but no Starfleet. That's why they have to, hijack the Titan to get out there. When they meet the guy on Beverly's ship who claims to be her son, he talks about the people who attacked them, and they've attacked them numerous times, and he said that they had different faces every time. Okay, and I know this is crazy, but I think it's the aliens from the conspiracy episode of TNG. The things that crawl up into your heads and control your minds, just like in the Wrath of Khan, when there was a worm that would burrow into your ear and control your mind. Okay, that's why I think they're giving us all these Wrath of Khan Easter eggs to draw the comparison to that. Okay, when they leave the bar, there's a dude sitting at the bar who's obviously there watching them. When they leave the inspection on the Titan, there's a dude standing at attention who moves his eyes to watch them as they leave. So whatever Beverly is afraid of, it's she thinks that Starfleet has been compromised, and they have. In some way they have. There's people in the ranks who are on the other team. So that's my theory on that. That's my theory on who we're going to see. The end credits is supposed to have a bunch of Easter eggs in it.
Yeah,
and one of them, that the Elcar screen talks about a neurographic scan or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is, but that's basically a scan, a brain scan, and that's how you would find one of those. Is it the one episode from season 1? Yes, Chaz. Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Yep, that's
called Conspiracy.
Conspiracy. Yep, that's the name of the episode. So, if you were to have to determine if someone has one of these aliens inside of them, that's what you would do. You would do a neurographic scan of their brain. Now,
So I do have some clips that I can throw in as we talk about this kind of stuff. One of the clips is Patrick Stewart talking about a non-spoiler preview of what we can expect for the upcoming episodes. I think this would be a good time to place that. Also, I do have a preview, a clip that they released yesterday for the next episode. I haven't seen it yet, and I thought you guys may not have. So at some point we can watch that too and react to that. But let's. I think before we get too far into that, let me play that non-spoiler preview from Picard, from Patrick Stewart, and see what you think about what he's saying.
There are transformations. And I don't want to frighten our audience, our fans, by suggesting that we are transforming the whole Star Trek franchise. We're not.
Okay.
But the steps that we take to introduce new elements into the show are thrilling.
This is really exciting. This is an incredibly exciting moment for all of us in Star Trek fandom.
So they're going to make changes. So Chad's really excited about that.
One thing.
It could be.
One thing I wanted to point out and just connect back to what I was saying. We kept wondering why is Lore here? Why is Moriarty here?
Yeah.
For all we know, they're on Beverly's ship. They're on Beverly's team, so to speak. I know if I was afraid that the whole world had been compromised by mind-controlling aliens, who could I have as an ally that I know could not be corrupted by them? I don't know. An
Robot
android,
boy.
an
Yeah.
android, and a hologram. So,
Well, and Picard, he's not a real boy either.
That's what he's getting at. Yeah.
No, I thought he meant more.
See, I don't know. We still don't know exactly what Picard is. And even Rios said it last season, that he's a human robot. He's a flesh and blood human robot. I don't even understand how it works. And I think that he was speaking for the fans
Yeah.
at that point. They haven't told us exactly, is he flesh and blood? Is he something else that mimics flesh and blood so much that you can't tell the difference? I mean, I don't know. Q punched him in the face and he got a nosebleed last season, so he's not just a robot.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, didn't he say something about like his knees hurt, like when they first came him up?
Yep. Oh, he's adrenaline. He says, I got an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Robots don't get that.
No.
Well, it's not that he's a robot. He's the same thing that Soji was. It's a synthetic. It's a synthetic body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So designed to work and feel the same way that a regular
Picard
body
works
would.
in mysterious ways.
Yeah, he's bicentennial man. He's going to age. So
I don't know. What do you think? Conspiracy aliens? Yes? No?
I could see it. I could see it. I have a feeling that Amanda Plummer's character, who I have a feeling they're going to somehow connect it to what's his name, Chang from Undiscovered Country, her real dad.
Okay.
I'm sure they'll tie them together. I don't think she'll be Klingon, but somehow they'll be tied together. I doubt it'll be his daughter in the show, but somehow. I think that's a big red herring. And I think I've heard this on a few other fan sites that Lore is going to be actually the big bad. And that he's like the puppet master behind all of it.
okay, so getting back to what Admiral Danny Boy was saying, as far as it being the conspiracy aliens, if that turns out to be true, and that's what this is and where they're going with it, then what you just said, Daniel, could still be true as far as the red herring and Amanda Plummer's character not really being anything too crazy. But I just talk about an entire 720-degree rotation in their ability to put together a thoughtful plot line, right? If that's the case. That's the reason why I just don't think that's going to play out. I hope it does, but the only reason I don't think it's going to play out is because I think that's way too good.
Well, so I didn't.
Well,
want to
here's the thing. It tops it every time there's a survey or an article or something about the top plot lines that they never resolved. That one is always at the top.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was about to say in the Will Wheaton show, they did interview also Terry Matalas, the showrunner, and he did talk about how this season was specifically designed to tie up loose ends. He's like, we don't get to all of them, but we had a storyline that would tie up a lot of loose ends. And you're right. That is the number one that always
it's
pops
the
up.
loosest.
Yes.
It's the loosest events.
Yeah.
So I mean, she could be the Plummer. What I forget her first name.
Amanda, I think.
Amanda Plummer. It might be that she doesn't have any connection to Picard, but the bug in her head controlling that body does.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the red herring.
Right.
That it's not the face we're looking at that has a connection to him. It's the bug inside.
Well, and then they did have bugs in Wrath of Khan, and there's a lot of Wrath of Khan callbacks in this too.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said before.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
But I think
God does not like any of it.
No, it's not that I don't like any of it. I just can't. It's hard. That would be fantastic, right? That would make this first episode make way more sense down the line, and that's the only hope I still have as far as the season goes. Is that I've only seen one episode, and that maybe that one episode is weird and clunky and is running over itself in multiple scenes. I feel like maybe that it could still do some justice if things kind of tie in 2, 3, 4 episodes down to make all that make sense. But it's just, I don't know. That's a lot. That's a leap compared to what. Yeah, you're right. I'm ready for disappointment. That's just a leap compared to what they've done before to think that they could actually pull off and do something that good. Honestly, you know, I mean, you look at the storylines from Discovery, and you look at the story, even Strange New Worlds did it right, and they knew that, and they watched it. So, but that was different. That was a one episode off kind of thing. And this is an arc again, right? And they just don't have a good track record with arcs. They just don't. I don't know. We'll see. The main problems I had with this episode weren't the fact that it didn't look good, because it always looks good. It's a little dark, because again, they just have to do the dark thing, right? Mm-hmm. There was just a few things that were just off, like it's starting with Beverly's rifle. What in the that space rifle with the charge, and just she's a Commando Jane now, twirling and spinning, and like that's not her character. And Picard did not act like Picard.
Okay.
Riker did not act like Riker.
So this is a good chance for me to bring this up.
So
we do have a clip from the Will Wheaton show where they specifically talk about that. Also, I think if you're complaining about the laser gun on the space show, it's pretty okay. But let me bring this up. Let me pull this one up. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm looking at the right one. Okay. Sorry, it takes a second.
It's okay.
That scene with you and Johnny, what was so beautiful was there was just this loyalty and respect that was there, that was never talked about, but it was just there. And that's what's so beautiful, to have that just come across so easily.
Yeah, we both, I think, speaking for Jonathan, say we felt it, both of us. But you know, there's a very famous line from the last episode of TNG.
Yes.
When I crash the poker session. And there's a moment which moves me every time I've seen it. It even moves me when I think about it, when Picard quietly said,
I should have done this a long time ago.
You were always welcome.
I knew that was the line. Yes, of course. It's very powerful.
That was there for a lot of Picard.
So, to me, what I think that they're saying with all that is, as you know, emotional and happy they are to see each other and how much they've changed, they're saying that was kind of set up towards the end of TNG. I can kind of see that, honestly.
In terms of how they talk to one another?
Yeah. That they're more friendly.
It has nothing to do with the rifle scene. I thought you were going to play a clip about the rifle scene. But that's okay.
No. No, because you were talking about how Picard doesn't act like Picard, Riker doesn't talk like Riker.
Well, I think it's deeper than that. I think it's deeper than that. They have evolved, but that's the thing. We saw Riker and we saw Picard in the last 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So they evolved between then and now to be completely different.
Oh no, that's course correct. This show.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
but it's irritating though, because I mean Riker is acting like he's not sure of himself. He's acting like I'm just going to run away from the love of my life and my kid. Mm-hmm. You know, it's probably better if I just ignore them for a while. Picard all of a sudden wants to go on an adventure. It's just all about this. You know, he says it like 3 times to Laris. It's like, and that's another thing that was grating in this episode is they repeat themselves all the time. All the time.
Yeah, that was a complaint that we
got a little annoying.
Yeah.
Now, again, overall, would I say that this episode is worse than anything we've seen in Picard so far? Hell no. I mean, I enjoyed it. I laughed a few times. The jokes between the two of them about being old and walking kind of funny like 2 grandpas. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Shaw's reaction to them, I laughed at. I honestly thought that was pretty funny, the way Shaw treated them, because they're nobodies. They're retired. They don't have any authority. What did they think they were going to do? Just tell him to do it, and he's just going to do it because they're Riker and Picard? Like, they're retired. They don't have any command authority. Well, he should be respectful. I get that part, but...
That's my question. Are they retired?
They are.
That doesn't make sense, okay? In Picard season one, Picard is retired. He's clearly retired. He has no
Right.
connection to Starfleet at all. Riker is reserve status. Okay. And if that's the case, he still holds his full rank. He is a member of Starfleet. He's just in the reserves.
Mhm.
Season 2 of Picard has clearly rejoined Starfleet. He's wearing a Starfleet uniform. He's wearing a Starfleet comm badge. He's wearing rank pips. He's the Chancellor of Starfleet Academy. He's being addressed as Admiral. And now suddenly he's retired again? It doesn't make sense. And they never said that Riker was retired. He referred to himself as a captain, and Shaw says without a chair.
Mhm.
Meaning you're a captain, but you don't have a command. You don't have a ship.
Right. And the way that Shaw lays all that out and they don't challenge it tells me that Shaw is correct.
Well, they don't challenge it because it's a ruse.
Mhm.
It's not like
Yeah, that's a good point.
Picard, well, whether he's retired or not, Picard can't say to him, well, if he wasn't retired, Picard could clearly say to him, Captain Shaw, I am an admiral, and I am ordering you to change course, and you will change course. But he won't say that because he's not there under actual authority from Starfleet. It's a ruse.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Mhm.
And the thing with Shaw, I was a little... I understand the way he feels about them. Maybe not everybody has the same
He's the new
feelings.
Jellicoe.
Well, yes and no. But the idea that a by-the-book Starfleet captain would
Mhm.
not greet an admiral at the airlock
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
Mhm.
The fact that he would not stand when he enters the room is ridiculous. The fact that
Yep.
he would talk to him in that manner is ridiculous. Because you know what? Maybe he is retired, but he still knows people.
Yeah.
He still knows people. And, for a captain to address an admiral like that and basically flip him the bird,
Mhm.
That admiral could make some phone calls and, yeah, he could make your life a living hell.
Right.
So, I don't know. I didn't quite buy that. I think there's a better way they could have gone about it. He could have. I don't know.
So,
I would have bought it more if he said, sure, I'd love to take a ride to that system. Run
Yeah.
it past Starfleet Command, and as soon as the orders come down, we'll change course.
right.
And that's it.
It was interesting how he reacted to seeing that he was there, right? When he wakes up, he looks out the window and he sees that they're there.
Mhm.
It was interesting how he reacted to that. He didn't throw a fit. He got upset, but he wasn't trying to toss people out in the airlock. He wasn't or in the brig, right? He wasn't. He was upset with Seven, but not that upset. Like,
Well,
he kind of
that's-
knew it was going to happen, and it's just kind of just whatever. It's happened now, so we're just
He's
gonna
playing
deal
his
with it.
part of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so,
the other thing. She should, at that point, she would be removed from the chain.
And
of
she
command,
wasn't.
and she would be in
So-
the bridge. Which that says to me, Shaw, not only does he have a bug in his ass, he's got one in his head.
Right.
He's one of them.
Could be.
could be. could
So
be
that
what
actor,
was, yeah.
that actor was apparently on that show 12 Monkeys,
Yep.
which also Terry Matalas was the showrunner of. So he brought his friend over, and apparently that actor played a very similar type of character to
Yeah.
what Shaw is, and apparently he's very good at this
Yeah.
kind of asshole character. So.
Oh no, he's a great actor. He's good at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So,
But I definitely, I kind of have a hankering now for a blue steak. I want to eat blue steak.
that looks gross. That looks
I don't
so
know what that
gross.
was.
Yeah. What did you think about 7 and 9 having to go by her human name, Annika Hansen?
Yeah, I wasn't really sure how to take that from the standpoint of, well, see, that's the other thing. She's not acting like her either, right?
Right.
She's acting unsure of herself. That's not 7 of 9. She's acting like she doesn't want to be there, like she's conflicted about it. Well, Jesus, how long did it take her to get that position? How much time was she in Starfleet taking orders to get to that position? That doesn't make sense. There's so many things like that
Well,
that just don't add up.
It doesn't make
But
sense either.
To me,
And
that
then
could be just a reaction to Shaw. That could not.
Yeah, but how long has she been on board with as an XO with Shaw? It couldn't have been that she was assigned to him 3 days ago.
Right.
mean,
We don't know
Shaw
that.
Shaw has every reason to dislike Seven.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Borg.
She's former Borg. I get it. I know she's the Borg that we like, but she's former Borg. Hello.
Oh,
There goes the iPad.
the iPad does not like when you talk about the Borg that way.
Yeah, she went rogue for years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Admiral Daniel J. Danny Boy Lombardo, retired, is having issues with his
Darren, red alert.
Need the red alert klaxon right there.
Yeah.
All right. So she's former Borg. She's not a graduate of Starfleet Academy. There are people that work their entire lives to get into Starfleet Academy and then work the rest of their lives to rise through the ranks.
Yep.
And if she got a field commission, it was a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she is first officer on a starship.
On top of that, there could be some sort of conflict between him, Shaw, and Janeway, because they mentioned Janeway.
Yeah.
So
name drop
Shaw,
Janeway.
If Shaw is a graduate of Starfleet Academy and has spent 10 years rising through the ranks to get to captain, that means that there's dozens of people that he was at the academy with who he would love to have as his first officer.
Mm-hmm.
And instead he's stuck with this one.
Don't let him watch or meet James T. Kirk from JJ Trek, who gets a captaincy of a ship before he's even graduated.
I've had that gripe for how old is that movie? 15 years.
Can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I watched Moonwalker the other day with my daughter. She's never seen it.
The Michael Jackson movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we watched that, and it was weird and crazy. And then I couldn't remember when he passed away, when he died, and it was 2009, and that feels like forever ago, but it doesn't seem like it was that far back.
Yeah.
That's what it's getting old. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. So I do have, as I collected several clips, I do have another clip from Terry Matalas where he talks about
blue steak.
Yes,
it's about
it's
blue steak.
How to properly cook your blue steak.
Waiting for me.
Blue steak.
But he talks a little bit about, is this the final season of Picard? So, even though all the marketing says that.
And so the goal was to tell one final coming together of those characters. Mm-hmm. And certainly we've left the door open in ways I can't spoil for more to stay in this timeline and see more of these characters. But if it is indeed the last, then you have to ask yourself, what do you want to see before it's all over? What do you really want to see? And so there's a lot of discussion about that. So that was the goal. What's one final story for this cast, and how does everyone play a part that has impact?
Yeah. So,
well, like we said before, if Picard becomes the name of the ship and it's just about the people that are on it, then let's just
now Junior.
Yeah, let's just hope it doesn't look like the Titan.
So you think that's his son?
That would be pretty good, actually.
Let's you know what? I've got another clip.
It would really piss off Laris.
Yes. Let's play this clip first, and then we'll talk about who we think that is.
A weird way for me to find out that I have a half brother that nobody ever told me about. I'm not going to lie. It was weird that I had to find out about it on TV. But let's talk about Beverly's son.
You didn't get the Christmas card then. The Christmas card that sort of...
the Christmas card that says, by the way, I've had a secret son for the last 20-something years that nobody ever knew about.
Yeah.
I want to know about... We're going to see so much more of him, and I've seen so much more of this season, and I don't want to get ahead of myself and spoil things.
He is so wonderful. Ed Spaliers. He was so much fun to act with. Very often, we were very silly. I mean, I have a couple of moments of memory just shaking with laughter, and we're looking at each other like, stop it. He's just a dream to work with.
I will
Okay. So
he'd be much younger. He's obviously much younger than Will. The kid looks like he's probably 20. So maybe the reason no one's heard from him in 20 years is because she ran off with the kid. That's another part of this too that's kind of hard to swallow, and I guess they'll have to fill in the story for us to explain. And she'll have to explain it at some point. How is it that Beverly Crusher doesn't talk to anybody?
Daryl Bent says it's
for
clone.
20 years.
So there has been quite a few internet YouTube videos out there that have pointed out that this kid, that the new son, looks a lot like Jack Crusher, the actor that played him. So it may not be Picard's kid. And then there was also the Jack Crusher box that we saw.
Yeah, we did see that.
Yeah. So Taryn has the other good thought. This was my thought, a hologram. Although Riker did punch him and he did react to that. And any other time we've seen a hologram, any punch or laser would just, kind of go through them.
Yeah.
Unless he's programmed to react to it that way.
Right. So
could also be from the synth planet.
Could be. I mean, there's a lot of different things they could do with it. Could be a shapeshifter.
Well, I mean, if he's a hologram, that goes back to what I was saying about her surrounding herself with other types of life forms that would not be susceptible to the bugs.
Right.
I don't know. I think that might cheapen things.
Yeah, he's a Q.
Yeah.
He could be a space ghost. Yeah, Chazbit.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
She finally had her ghost baby.
He was conceived at Yankee Candle.
Well, they don't call it Bed Bath and Beyond for nothing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So, I mean, Beverly, let's see. TNG, she had to be in her late 30s at the beginning, which would put her in her mid 40s towards the end of the run.
20 years later, she's in her 60s.
Yeah. So two things. Medical science has advanced a lot since then. Deanna had 2 kids after the movies, so it makes sense that Beverly could. The other thing is we can't discount the fact that they all spent some time on the Baku planet in the 3rd movie, which set the clock back a few years. Yeah, set the clock back. There were even the ladies were talking about how firm their boobs were. So I mean, the clock was turning back a bit. So that may have extended their childbearing years.
Reset the clock, so to speak.
Yeah, it also
the biological clock.
Yeah, but also Picard may not have been firing blanks anymore because he spent some time with the Baku.
Yeah. No, I think that's probably what it is. I think it's probably a real boy. He's a real boy, and he was conceived with Jack's DNA, and she went off on some sort of wild hair or whatever, and thought she could do it, and yada yada yada, did it, and there it is. And then she wanted to hide it from everybody because it's illegal to do, or something like that, right? I don't know. That's the silly.
He did say to Laris. He did say to Laris that we tried to be. She said, "You tried to be lovers," and he said, "Try." Yeah, we tried. So, I mean, that kind of implies that it went wrong somewhere. The Forge kid, Riker kid, Picard kid, Worf kid, O'Brien kid. We got a whole new crew for TNG2.
Yeah.
Well, they did call it the next generation. This would be
the next generation. And then, of course, we see LaForge's kid on the bridge of the Titan, and Picard doesn't even have a clue who she is at first. Neither does Riker. How's that work?
The last time they saw her, she was little.
Yeah,
which
but
was a clear callback to Generations.
Yep.
Sydney.
Demora Sulu on the Enterprise B. As the helmsman. If you remember Geordi's first position on the Enterprise D, he wasn't in engineering; he was the helmsman.
Right.
That was the joke that the blind guy is flying the ship.
Yeah.
So I do want to share one more clip before we get to the to the preview for next week's episode. This is just a fun one, and I thought you guys would like to hear it. Yeah, so
The way that I think
Yes.
I do, it fell right into it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like we'd never left.
Yes. Sometimes there'd be
Uproarious, ridiculous goofing off until it's time to roll, and then we nail it.
when
and then
when they were together
Yeah.
nonstop. Yeah. And I used to love to watch the behind the scenes and watch all this stuff. And now I'm the director, and I'm like, guys, I don't want to stop you singing, you legendary characters of science fiction and Star Trek. But if I don't get this shot, so it's all very. I mean, you could write volumes on it, but it's an honor to do this. And it's surreal, and you just hope you're worthy of it. So
I think
So there you go. So they wouldn't stop dicking around.
Well, it's the same thing that happened in the first couple of episodes, or first few seasons of TNG. I mean, Picard or Patrick Stewart even has alluded to that several times too. They would get in trouble.
Maybe.
So here's a question for you. You know, they've said for years. Well, they said that, you know, a lot of characters are showing up. A lot of old characters are showing up in this season. A lot of cameo appearances.
A lot that way they have not been announced. This is what they said.
Yeah. And they've always said that on Star Trek, the ship itself is like a character.
Mm-hmm.
As like a beloved character. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Geordi is the head of the Fleet Museum. And again, when we watch the end credits, the Elcar's credits, they show some images of the Fleet Museum. And it looks like it's a space station with several ships orbiting the space station. And it looks like Voyager, or at least an Intrepid class ship, is one of the ships orbiting the space station, as is a Defiant class ship. So I guess my question is, which old ship do you think is going to show up at the end? I mean, it's obvious that something is coming, whether it's Voyager, the Defiant, or, I mean, we obviously won't see the Enterprise D because it's gone, but that doesn't mean we can't see another Galaxy class starship. And I don't think it's a one-off that Riker has that conversation with the bartender that nobody likes the fat one,
right?
Talking about the Enterprise D,
Yeah.
and he's offended by it. So I guess, I mean, I just thought of this as I'm talking about this, but you know, this show is very much centered or calling back to Berman era Star Trek, that late 80s, 1990s Star Trek. And one thing we never got was the Enterprise, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine or the Defiant together in one story. And I'm wondering if we're going to have a Galaxy class, an Intrepid class, and a Defiant class ship on screen together for the first time ever, just to bring all the feels.
That'd be cool.
That would be awesome if they did that. Like take out the big enemy, all the different types of ships together.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not necessarily those ships, but you know, for the purpose of fan service, it's those ships.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Those class of ships, anyway.
Yes.
I mean, the closest thing we've seen to something like that is the opening to First Contact.
Yes. Yep.
That would be the closest.
Everything but the Intrepid was there.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. You know, they definitely have said before they like what Marvel's doing, and Marvel does that kind of stuff. And so, yeah. Do we want to see the preview for next week?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let me pull that up.
Power level at 13%.
I don't know. First it was Fenris Rangers, then Klingons a day later. Then 3 guys in Starfleet uniforms tried to prime direct me into an early grave. We've been running for months. Whoever's piloting that ship has resources, and we've been too close to the nebula for too long, and it's fried our systems. We're running on fumes.
Trust nobody. That's what Beverly said.
What do they want?
We have to find out. But first of all, we have to make contact. Strike an accord, negotiate.
Computer, threat assessment.
Unidentified vessel presently targeting all ship systems. Probability of destruction 100%.
They're not negotiating.
So there you go.
I'm telling you, it's the bugs, man. It's the bugs.
That little clip right there does lead credence to it being something closer along those lines. Obviously, with when they say it's Klingons one time, it's this next time, it's this next time. So, that's an intriguing line.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely an intriguing line.
Voyager finale had all of them in the last shot.
All the different
I don't
ships in the
remember
last
that.
shot. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Just have to go back and look at it.
I don't know about that.
We'll go look it up.
I mean, that clip makes me think Dan's correct with the bugs, right? I mean,
it does lead credence to that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. Or at least it makes me want to think that more.
Or at least some sort of conspiracy, obviously, between different groups that don't normally align. Obviously, that's what's going on for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So, whether it's bugs or not, who knows? But definitely that's the case. Where have we heard that before, though, with multiple different races that normally don't work together, working together?
The Xindi.
Uh-huh.
Do you think it's a Xindi?
No, I don't think it's a Xindi.
They're part of the Federation.
They are now, yeah. I'm just going along all the different possibilities of where that has played out in the past and what that could allude to.
Could be species 8472.
Could be.
I mean, it could also still be the Borg. I mean, it could be AI. It could be a computer thing controlling them somehow, or they don't. Or the individual
they do love
actors,
to hate on their AI.
Yeah, the individual races or people involved don't even know who's pulling the strings, and it's just an AI, right? I mean, who knows? It could be a conspiracy within a conspiracy. So I don't know if there's enough information to really. But I like Dan's theory for sure. I do like that theory. I think that's probably a little too good that they want to come up with it. But if that turns out to be the case,
I mean, yeah, that could be pretty great. Sorry, I'm pulling up stuff for feedback so that way we're prepared.
Yeah, they did talk about Daystrom a couple different times. So again, there's that in the back of my mind where it's, maybe it is lore. Maybe it is lore somehow bringing a bunch of races together to overthrow the Federation or take them down in their time of being disarray, because they are still a little bit in disarray in this timeline. They're not all together like the Federation that we've seen in the past, as far as being strong and steadfast and union. Steadfast union anyway. So
do we think that whatever this bad guy is clearly after that weapon that Raffi's onto, and so that way they're the two converge?
I don't know if they're after the weapon. I think they already have the weapon.
Yeah, could be.
So, I mean, I think they already have it. And what their overall goal is, I don't. Obviously, dismantling from within. I mean, that's clear. You don't use a weapon like that, like they did, without trying to, it's a terrorist attack. So that's the one thing.
Oh, the attack's going to be at that Frontier Day.
The Frontier Day, of course. What is Frontier Day? Remind me. Is Frontier Day something we've seen before? It feels like
it's their 4th of July.
Really. Yeah.
It's the 250th anniversary of the Starfleet space exploration or something like that.
Yeah.
What is he talking about when they came out of Transwarp Borg Sphere?
In Voyager, and when they had everything waiting for the Borg to come out, and instead Voyager popped out.
Yeah.
That's when they had all the ships together, is what he's saying. Yeah. Which makes sense. I do remember that scene. I just don't remember exactly
I do remember
what
the scene. I don't think there was a Defiant class ship there though.
I'll have to check it.
But I could be wrong.
Yep. I guess we got some homework. Go watch that.
Yeah.
I mean, we could take it one step further. The Enterprise A was also orbiting that fleet museum. Mm-hmm. So I mean, they could literally do everybody,
yeah,
or something like it. We'll see.
Will we see Lesseronia again, or is that the ship that Raffi's on?
That's the ship Raffi's on.
Okay.
which makes no sense.
No, yeah.
No, that she's on Serena still, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The Red
What's
Lady
the
is the
name?
Scarlet Witch. Yeah, thanks, Gentry.
That's right.
The Red Lady is the Scarlet Witch.
Red Lady was
I
a
thought-
statue.
So
Yeah, the Red Lady was
Yeah.
a statue. I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Yep.
At least
That
it's
was a
not
nice callback
the
to
Red
Rachel.
Angel, right? At least it's not the Red Angel that we have to hear about for 10 freaking episodes.
I literally thought at first the Red Lady was Crusher because she's a red-haired lady.
Well, she's
Oh.
got gray hair now, but yeah, Red Angel, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember the
I thought
trauma?
that-
I still have
I thought
PTSD
that
from
too.
that.
I thought
Yeah.
that too. But I thought it was a nice callback to Rachel Garrett. I mean, she's she was in one episode of TNG 35 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
but her character does have this pivotal role in shaping peace in the Alpha Quadrant. It would make sense to give her a big giant statue. And then blow
Chad's
it.
looking for that wire for feedback.
I am.
You know, I think it's funny too that they shot off at just such a high speed of warp when before in TNG they did mention that warp was destroying space. So guess we just completely forgotten that.
Yeah, but I mean, technology is constantly.
Yeah.
Yes, Rachel Garrett. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but technology is constantly improving. If you notice when they left, I think it was when they left Spacedock. Picard made a suggestion about calling the engine room, and she's like, "Yeah, we don't do it that way anymore. That's not standard procedure anymore. Things are different." And they also, I don't know if you guys caught this, they also engaged metaphasic shields. Do you remember what those are?
I do remember what those are.
Yeah. So that was for anyone who doesn't remember what those are. Those were the shields that Dr. Rega, who was a Ferengi scientist, developed that allows a ship to actually enter the corona, a star's corona.
Right.
And it was Beverly Crusher who was trying to help him get his work published because he had no clout as a Ferengi scientist. Nobody took him seriously because there's no money in that. There's no money in
There's
research.
no profit in scientific advancement.
Profit. Exactly.
That's funny.
Exactly.
That
So
is-
what's
Well,
Chad doing?
I don't know, but let's get to feedback. So let me play that that clip.
Open hailing frequencies.
Hey!
Frequencies open, sir.
There we go. Well, Chad does that. I will read some feedback that we have.
Cool.
We have several from Instagram and Facebook. And I did ask the question, did you like the season premiere of Picard? So we've got a few. One listener, BSL2, said the weapon scares the crap out of me. Hileas42 said, best Picard opener ever. Okay, the first season was acceptable. The second season was the baddest Trek I've ever seen. I hope the showrunners of Trek have learned from it. Let's see. Overall, everyone seems to think it was great. Leonard said that Riker, Jonathan Frakes, stole the show. It seems overall very excited. We have Nails Astrophic said very excited. Pop Shirts 2 put the praise hands. Class M Productions said, oh my God, yes. And then over on Facebook, we've got Tim Lamb, who said it's just too dark visually. Did they forget how to make light bulbs?
Yeah.
There are no lights.
You gotta say there are no lights.
Yes.
Yep,
yes.
yep.
Say with some feeling.
Yes. Yes.
Well, they're just
absolutely.
trying to save some money on the production side of things, where they don't have to use too much electricity on all the lighting, and that stuff's really bright and it's hot, and they don't want to overheat and cook Picard, right? So I mean, they just got to keep it cool and dark, cuts down on cost and keeps the old guys cool. What else can we say?
Let's see. I'm sorry. I was putting in the note to tell people to X up new feedback. Let's see. Daryl says Captain Shaw to Picard, cowboy diplomacy phasers and blowing up things. Picard to Ambassador Spock, cowboy diplomacy and blowing up things. So the circle has come full.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mike Medina says Picard has to go and save somebody a Starfleet douche tries to deny him, and Picard has to go rogue again. Where have I seen this before?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is quite the trope. Yes, absolutely. Looks like Chazbiz wants to X up, so that's great. Yes. Oh, let's see.
I've got the voicemail.
Oh, do the voicemail.
Okay, I'll do the voicemail right now.
Hello, Trekcast peeps. This is Scott Strongbeard Bowders here. Just wanted to say hi, everyone. Dan, Daniel, Chad. You guys are doing a fantastic job. Keep it up. All the regulars that call in, it's always great to hear you guys, and I really love the interaction on the Facebook group. Plus, I really love hearing the sound of my own voice. So with that in mind, it's time for Star Trek: The Next Generation, Season 8, episode... Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, it's still Picard? Oh, okay. Star Trek Picard, Season 3, Episode 1. The Next Generation, a pack-led review.
Yes.
Nice.
Titan Captain is a dick. Live long and prosper.
Awesome.
I have missed those. I have missed those so much.
Love it. Love it.
That's so good.
I'm going to give out the number for anyone else who wants to call up.
Yes, do it.
Yeah.
And leave us a message or review of some sort. It's 816-287-0448. 816-287-0448. Operators are not standing by. If you call that number, it's not going to ring on the wall in Chad's kitchen, and he's just going to answer it while he's making eggs or whatever. That's not what happens. It's strictly voicemail. You'll hear a greeting, you'll leave us a message, and there's like a 98% chance we'll play it on the show. So give us a call, leave us a message. Again, it's 816-287-0448.
Nice.
Two things with that. Number one, I like the fact that it's 98% chance because you never know.
Right.
You never know.
And number two, I am going to go to a thrift store somewhere, and I'm going to find an old style phone that you would hang on your wall that has the long ass cord on it, and I'm going to make a recording, a video of me answering it as if that's the Trekcast line.
I should find you like a
making eggs.
I'm going to put on that. Remember that? I still got it. The James T. Kirk colored bathrobe. You know.
Yep.
So I'll have that
and a hat that says "Kiss the Cook."
Yeah. No, I don't wear hats. But I'll have a cigar and I'll be making omelets and dropping the ashes into the pan.
I got a phone for you. Let me. I'll send you a phone. I've got an idea.
I mean,
yes. All right. So we got Chazbiz too, who wants to join us. So let me bring him in. All right, there he is.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing, man?
I'm pretty good. How are you guys?
Good.
Doing pretty good.
So what'd you think of Picard?
I loved it. Actually, I was looking for disappointment like Chad, and Chad is wrong. So, but it was good. I mean, you could tell Jonathan Frakes was having a lot of fun this episode.
Oh yeah,
you could.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I was like, he looked so happy to be there, and he just looked giddy, and because the whole time he had a giant smile on his face, and I just want to know what's going on with Deanna and his daughter. He's like, I'll leave their asses at home or something. So it seemed kind of weird. Are they split up or?
Yeah, that seemed weird.
It's a boys' trip.
Weird. Yeah, it is a boys' trip. That's true.
Yeah.
Is she showing up this season or?
Yeah.
She's
been
supposed to.
Okay, so she's coming.
Yeah, so they're building drama.
Yeah.
Okay, they're building drama, and if that is Picard's son, what is he? I don't understand how he has an English accent.
Well, it wouldn't be his first fake son, right?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have a French accent, but he has an English accent. And then he's raised by Beverly, so shouldn't he have an American accent, maybe? So, I don't know how that works in the future.
Depends.
Well, it depends on what he was exposed to. growing up?
Yeah.
What was he exposed to on the holodeck? Because I'll tell you right now, my daughter watches Peppa Pig, which is a British-produced show, and she says certain things with a British accent, and she'll grow out of it.
Yeah,
Right.
She'll grow out of it.
That's
but
awesome.
yeah, she refers to, when we go on vacation, she refers to it as going on holiday, because that's what they that's what they do. She says certain things, and the tail end of her sentences kind of sweep up like a
question at the end of every statement.
Yep. And that's clearly from watching that show. So I mean, if he was raised in the holodeck on the ship, watching Peppa Pig.
Did she stand quietly and defiantly in front of her dollhouse?
What's that?
I said, does she stand quietly and defiantly in front of her dollhouse?
Yes.
With a big plume hat.
Yes.
Awesome.
Well, I'm sure it'll be explained. Maybe he wasn't around his mother for the first 15 years of his life or something, and she put him in a colony somewhere to stay safe, or who knows,
Yeah.
He could have been just working on the vineyard the whole time, and Patrick never knew it.
Yeah, he's just working with Patrick.
There you go. Awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah, it was, episode was fun. The Raffi parts, I don't know.
Gerald brought up a great point.
Yeah.
That Raffi's contact is Worf because he called her a warrior. And he did work in security.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
That's a great call.
Huh.
Well, hopefully Raffi, I just hope she's not as annoying as the last 2 seasons,
She already is.
Chad just hates her.
Well, she's a horrible spy. She's like, I'm undercover. I'm a former alcoholic. I broke up with my
She did put it on a little too thick.
Yeah.
And then she goes outside, goes around the corner, and she's like, "This is official Starfleet business Raffi music."
You gotta wear
Hold on, wait.
You gotta wear a hood covering your head.
Open the super secret spy channel.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got to get out my decoder device and turn the rings to the right numbers and say it out loud, 5 feet from the bar.
I'm surprised she didn't go, "Excuse me, sir, can you speak into this microphone as you tell me all this nefarious?"
Yeah, she's like, "Please admire my lapel."
Yeah, indeed.
You can't tell me more about the Red Lady? Like she's talking to an NPC in a game.
Can I take a selfie as we commit crime, sir?
She's a warrior. Fine. Let's hope
Not
she gets
a
an
spy.
honorable
She's not
death.
a warrior.
He called her a warrior. I'm saying,
I know.
Let's hope she gets an honorable death.
But she's
and
not.
Then they can have a nice funeral for her, and we can all remember her fondly and move on.
There you go.
If he was talking, see, here's the problem. Here's the problem with these writers, and here's the problem with this whole setup. That should not be Raffi. That should be Elnor. That should be Elnor. And then it would be hilarious, and he would say things that would be hilarious, and it would be in character, and it'd be perfect.
Yeah.
But because of his absolute candor and everything else, and then being called a warrior would make sense, and like the entire thing would make total sense if that was Elnor.
Worf would love Elnor.
Yes, he would. Those two,
and that
love
would be
each
the
other.
son that he wanted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then he could say it in
100%
front of his actual son too,
Yeah.
and say,
"Oh my God,
you are
picturing
like the
him
son I never had, Dad. I'm standing
turning
right
to-
here."
I'm picturing him turning to Alexander, saying, "Why can't you be more like Elnor?"
Please take
Because
after
that's-
Elnor.
That's the type of terrible parent that Worf has always been. Why
No,
can't you
Worf's
be more like
going to pull a cold line like, "Alexander, you're my favorite son, but this guy is the son I've always wanted."
Yeah.
I want to know how jealous is Will Wheaton that Beverly has another son right now.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
He was.
Because that interview when he mentioned the son, he's like, I didn't get a part.
Yeah. The jealousy is palpable, but
He's like,
There
I'm
is a
sitting here.
clip, and Daryl's right. He brought this up. I don't know if you put that up on the thing. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
That
I
right
did.
there. There
Yeah.
is a clip of Raffi and Worf fighting.
yeah.
That doesn't mean anything. She's
the
such
trailer.
an asshole that she'll fight with whoever.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I just
All right.
think it's leading credence to him being the handler. I don't know.
Yeah. All right,
And
Jasmine. Any other feedback you want to give?
Well, you guys complained about the Titan. It still looks better than the La Serena ship. than
I
a
have
big
no problem with
warehouse.
the Titan.
Yeah, I don't either.
I
Well,
don't have a
some
problem with
people
the
were
Titan at
like
all.
griping about like the bridge of it, and I was like, well, it looks good, you know.
Oh, bridge is fine. It's the
Yeah.
exterior. What is wrong?
Yeah.
What is wrong with that ship? It's got a weird neck, like it's broke. The nacelles don't look. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's a
Well,
mash.
the CG on it's not that great because I paused it
Red Letter
earlier.
Media put out a funny thing about Beverly's ship, that when you see the shuttle park, the size of the shuttle compared to the bridge pod,
Yeah.
it's like the bridge pod is the size of a porta potty.
Yeah, it's tiny. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird.
So
It's a weird
here's
ship.
the thing with Starship designs. I always look at them like cars.
Mhm.
You know, cars all look a certain way for a while, and then they get redesigned, and they look a new way, and then they get redesigned, and they look a new way, and then they get redesigned, and they look like the original way.
Right.
You know, you look at a Dodge Challenger right now, and it was obviously designed to look like a 1970s Dodge Challenger.
Looks like the Mustang. So.
Yeah.
But it's you know, it still looks new. It looks old, but it still looks new. So I imagine starships are the same way. And at some point we're going to see a starship that looks like the Enterprise. The Enterprise D. We might.
Nice.
We might.
Nice.
We might. I want to see
All
a
right.
Starship El Camino, where it's
There
a
you go.
starship up front, but it's a pickup in the back. It's
Oh,
got a
that'd
big
be
giant
awesome.
bed.
All right,
we'll just a
we've
bunch
got
of
quite a
shuttles
few
just
people
parked
waiting,
out
so
in
we
the-
got to move on.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Jasmine.
Thanks, Jasmine.
Sorry, we do have a lot of people,
Thanks,
so
man.
let me bring in.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Yeah, let me bring in Hipster Spock. So here we go.
Hey, it's
Hey.
Hipster. How's it going, man?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
and
hear you
actually,
just
your
fine.
mic sounds
hear you
much
great.
better than Chaz's. Chaz's was crackling and stuff. You sound
Yes.
Yeah, Jasmine
Awesome.
is just the worst. That guy.
good.
That's what we do.
So,
Just, yeah. Go ahead, buddy.
Anyway, I see a lot of Star Trek 2, Star Trek 3 sort of vibes in this episode, like
Yeah.
Jean-Luc and Riker pulling a Kirk with the hijacking of a starship.
Yeah.
He did that in Search for Spock.
Yep.
And
Yep.
the sun thing, I think it reminds me of like Carol Marcus and David in
Yep.
Wrath of
Yep.
Khan. So that's also the thing. And like you said, that little bug thing that goes into Chekhov's ears, and then the little bug thing that these conspiracy people eat or down. So that's pretty interesting. And there has something to be said about nepotism, how LeVar Burton is able to get his daughters roles as his actual daughters in this show.
Well,
That's,
there is a clip of LeVar Burton talking on the Will Wheaton show that just hasn't aired yet, but it is making the rounds on social media, where LeVar says, you know, a few years ago, his daughter came to him and said, "Hey, I want to be an actress," and he encouraged her to do it. But he said never in a million years did he think that he would be doing a role, doing a project with her, much less that project is Star Trek. And you could see him get teary-eyed as he talks about how it's such a big thing for him as a father to get
Yeah.
to share this thing that he's loved for so much with his daughter.
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a unique situation.
I kind of like that they're doing it.
I do. I like that they're doing it too.
Absolutely.
So it's kind
And
of
then-
cool.
Didn't Patrick Stewart in the original TNG show, his son was on one of the episodes?
Yes. his
Yeah,
son was
yeah,
in
yeah,
The Inner Light.
The one
His
with
son
the
in The Inner
flute.
Light was his son. Yep.
Yeah. And then Q Jr. was actually Q's real son.
Yep.
So
Oh,
this
yeah.
is a storied
Uh-huh.
history. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
hmm
Here's the thing. You know, people say nepotism like it's a bad word.
Only in politics.
And well, you know, it's one of these things where it's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope because, you know, in one sense, no, everybody, it should be fair and everybody should have the same chance. I get that. If I build a business and I'm looking to leave it to someone, I'm leaving it to my son. I'm not
Right.
leaving it to your son or your son or your son. Okay, if I work hard and I create something, it's for the benefit of me and the benefit of my family, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And even more to that, when it's not necessarily your own business, right, that's involved, but it's a thing like Trek or a franchise or a type of industry type of thing that you're involved in. When you're putting together something and you're putting together a show, you have to be able to put together, especially when it comes to like a show, and you've got multiple people you have to hire. You've got people all over the place. It's a lot of cast. It's a lot of crew and all the other things. You need to be able to trust those people to do what they can do. And so if you can hire someone for certain cameos like this, which is a very easy thing to do for Geordie's kid to be on, and if his kid actually happens to be an actor or actress, then why not just use that kid? Because now you've got the assurance that you don't have to worry about that person. You don't have to worry about trying to coach or train or anything, because that person's not only going to already have some sort of background on what they're supposed to do, but they've also got the dad or the mom there as well,
right,
to take care of that. And you can trust that it's exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's someone you can trust. You trust that part of the process is taken care of. You can move on to the bigger problems you have to worry about.
Well,
it's a reference. It's a reference. It's like when you apply for a job, you give personal references. Okay, so the idea that you can't use your parents or your family as a reference, if we're going to say that, if we're going to say nepotism is 100% bad and you can't use that, then you know what? Then you shouldn't be able to give references. You should just be able to apply for a job and say, this is who I am. And
nepotism is like anything. It can be used for bad. It can be used for good. It just depends on how you use it.
Yeah.
The other thing that's pretty unique to her and all the other like examples that we've shown is they know exactly what they're getting into with Star Trek. They know that the fan base and how it's going to be treated and the importance of it. And that's really hard to communicate to somebody who is not in that world.
Yeah.
Like even us, like if we somehow had an opportunity, like we may kind of get an idea of what it is, but we don't understand really being in that storm.
Yeah, they've been in it their whole lives.
Right. So they get it.
And when you're talking about a franchise, you're talking about history, and you're talking about all the things that go along with it, and why something is important in one context and why it's not in another, because of the whole history of Trek itself. That's a perfect person to fit into that role. Someone who's not only familiar with it because they've been in with it their whole life with their parent or their cousin or their aunt or whoever that is.
Right.
So that they can, again, it's a matter of, I have lots of different spots to fill. If one of those is filled by someone's kid, I don't have to worry about trying to coach that kid. I can now take that off my plate.
Right.
So,
Yep. Last thing, I think I'm enjoying the journey, right? Because these people are not getting any younger, and it might be the last time that we see all of them in the same place at the same time. And I mean, unless if they got the same thing going through their veins, like Keith Richards, or something where that guy lives forever, the guy from the Stones, then it's the last time, and like Harry Kim says, it's the journey, right? So
right.
I'm kind of enjoying the journey. Okay, yeah, there's always things that we can bitch about, and that's, as fans, we're able to do that. But I'd like to see where it goes.
Yeah. Awesome. Well,
thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks for being on.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Hipster Spock.
And we've got one more,
as always.
Yeah, we've got one more. Species 5618. Hello, are you there?
Taryn.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, awesome. No,
Hey.
I think that it's pretty cool. I like your reaction little reels, because the first thing I thought of after watching the episode was, I wonder what Dan, Daniel, and Chad are gonna think. So it was kind of cool seeing Dan's and then seeing Daniel's and then wah wah wah. Here's Chad. But you did have a point when you said it was all mashed up, and you can kind of hear it in the music.
Yeah,
they overdid it. They were trying to, get the, and that's another point I had is it doesn't feel like Next Gen series season 8. It's Next Gen 5th movie, and they tried to really portray that. The music was really embodying that, But they mashed up way too many elements and themes, and I think if they toned that down a little bit, it would have been still pretty good. I think it would have been better that way.
If you watch the opening, because they got rid of the old Picard intro and all that, but if you watch their new intro with that old-timey tinny song playing that they overlay things on top of, and then you watch the ending and their outro and how long that is, and totally different vibe and feel and everything that is as well.
Yeah.
That really just imbibes the whole mashup of things is right there. It's not just two different feelings and two different looks. It's like 6 all at the same time.
Well, the good thing is with the 10-hour movie is basically what we're getting.
Yeah.
We'll get to see a lot of these characters. Because if we had just a final 2-hour movie, it's not going to be the same.
No.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we asked for a reboot, and we're getting it. And so far, I think it's good. It's not perfect, but we'll see where the rest goes. I think there's more hope this season than the previous.
Yeah.
Down to the help me, Obi Picard Kenobi. You're my only hope.
I didn't think of it that way.
It's true, though. It's true.
It's true.
Now, I will say, if I have to be this season's curmudgeon the entire season through, I am happy to be here.
Yes.
So, can I just point out that Picard 47 Alpha Tango, Jean-Luc Picard has not changed his email password in 25 years.
Yeah.
I thought about that too.
And I also love how, he has the same password to unlock his email as he does to blow up the ship in First Contact. And then he hasn't changed it in 25 years.
That is very much an old man thing to do. Same password for everything.
But it's voice it's voice as well, right?
Right.
So it's his voice. So you don't have to change your password.
Go change my passwords now.
Yeah, exactly.
Jaron, what's your what do you think about our bug theory, or do you have another one?
I think a lot of signs point to the bug theory. I just hope they don't pull it in and ruin it in a sense, because it's great to have that connection or tying up a loose end way back into the episode, but I don't know. It seems like it's a typical sci-fi trope that we always see. So I'm more curious to see where they go with the characters more so than the bug theory, the bugs, I think. Because, how many times has Starfleet been infiltrated?
They've got some major security problems.
I want to point out one more piece of connectivity to that bug theory. That was episode 1, season 25. It was the second to last episode of the first season. And in the second season, suddenly Beverly's gone. And she's gone for a whole year. And they tell us she went to run Starfleet Medical. And then she came back after a year. And then at the end of Nemesis, she's again going off to run Starfleet Medical. Now, we never really got any explanation as to what she was doing that year that she was gone, other than she's running Starfleet Medical. So I'm wondering if they'll tie it back somehow.
To this, yeah.
Yeah. We got some pictures of these bugs.
Mhm.
God,
Yeah,
I hope they
thought I'd bring them
update.
up.
I hope they update them a little bit.
I hope they don't. I hope they use the exact same ones. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
They just
You
find
wanna
them in the back office.
And they use
warehouse.
and we have if
Stop
this is what
motion?
if
You
this
want
is what
stop
happens.
motion?
Yeah, if this is what happens, we have to have some really old admiral kick the shit out of Riker again.
That's true. But only show them from behind, because it's obviously a stunt double.
They clearly
Yep,
made this with a creepy quality set. It's just one of those. Yeah, so there we go. They're coming back, baby.
Yep.
Yeah.
That really was, when you go back and look at that, that really was a just use old clips. Don't even have new stuff. Just use old clips.
Gentry's calling for the nerd alert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be hilarious though, if they do actually go that route and they do actually use those bugs, that it takes them like, I don't know, halfway through the season to realize, oh, there's these little things sticking out on their necks.
Yes. I'd love it. Anything else you want to throw in, Taryn?
Nope. Keep up the work. Oh, and by the way, Scott, awesome. I've been missing the Padlet reviews or
Padlet.
Padlet. I need more coffee.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotta get another.
Don't we all?
Done. Yep.
Awesome.
I've missed those too. Those are fantastic. Scott does a fantastic job of those. Those are so good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for being on, Taryn. Let me. Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's everyone.
Cool. That was great. That was a great feedback section.
Yeah, it was awesome.
We had a voicemail. We had 3 guys come on and talk. I mean, we're back in the swing of things, ladies and gentlemen. We're back in the swing of things.
Yeah.
We're in our groove. We're doing a real TV review. We'll see what our numbers look like. I know we jumped like 180 spots in a couple of countries over the last week. So
nice.
Yeah, I mean, I could pull that up and tell you, but that's Dan's least favorite part of the entire show.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's literally reading numbers on the internet.
it is. Yeah. Well, hey, we jumped up 137 spots to number 52 in Canada. That's our highest ranking. We were ranked number 52 in all of Canada.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
So
do we have access to the soundboard? Gentry called out a couple nerd alerts, but
I've got
it. Is that functional in this new setup?
Warning, nerd alert,
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, baby. It's up and running.
I don't have to do
the old
anything.
ad break we used.
I just sit here and talk now. I don't have to run a soundboard or anything.
You just have to run the voicemails.
The voicemails, yeah. I just had to remember the cable for that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's much easier now for everybody.
Yep.
So
the reason we jumped up that high, I bet you, is because Daryl, Lumberjack Daryl up there, probably had to catch up for the last month.
Probably. Yeah. Awesome.
All right.
Well, thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next week. I don't know if we'll do the quick reactions. We'll talk that about amongst ourselves, but yeah.
If I do one, I'll have to do it from my hotel room in Dallas.
That's fine.
Dallas on Monday morning or tomorrow morning.
That's fine.
Be in Dallas the whole week. Yeah.
I did it from the work car.
Yeah.
I did it from my couch. So.
I know. It looked like you were laying down. It was cool.
Yeah. It's a recliner couch.
Yeah. It looks like you just got done like an 8-hour bender because your eyes were red and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't sleep much that night. Yeah,
that's too bad.
Yeah. All right,
guys. Well, good
thanks
show.
everybody for listening. See you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you guys. Thanks. Enjoy the show.
Bye.
Well, there you have it. Another episode in the can. Check us out at trekcast.com. Also, if you would, please subscribe to us via iTunes. Leave those reviews. Subscribe to us. We'll get some numbers, get up the list, get more listeners, do more shows, have more fun. But for now, we're all done. So live long and prosper, and we'll see you next week.